Hi, I'm Zach Donser.
And I am Brennan Cowing, and this is a story that we have together that we weren't planning on having together. It just sort of happened. So this was a few weeks ago when we were going out into the community and just praying for people and talking to them and just kind of being Christ just around the community. So me and my group, we ended up going to Walmart after driving around for a while, and we saw these group of 5 people that were sitting on the grass. And so we decided that we were going to go over and say hi and just kind of talk to them. And so we brought them blessing bags. We brought them each one blessing bag, and we just got to talking to them. And they're so cool people. They've actually, their life, they've just been traveling their entire life. Like they've been like hitchhiking or jumping on freight trains, and they've been doing some of them since they were 14, 13. One was 18 years old when they started to just kind of travel the world. But they just had such cool testimonies, and they've been baptized, and they were believers, and it was just really cool to hear about their past, but also to hear about what God was actually doing in their life. And so kind of halfway into our conversation, we started thinking, we're like, these people are just traveling, like we should get them more blessing bags, because we only brought them like one each. So we're like, okay, we're gonna go back to the church and we're gonna grab a bunch more blessing bags for you, and then we're gonna bring them back. So we said our goodbyes, and then we said we'll be right back. And so we went to go get more blessing bags, and then this is where Zach Donser comes in.
Yes, this is my part of the story. So I actually saw Brennan and Kurt ministering to them, or just talking to them, on the side of the road at Walmart. And I was like going to Walmart just not to minister, but to get stuff. So I just, drove in, and then I was like, oh, that's cool. Look at them. Like, hey, they're going for it. But then I walked in, and I was in there for like 20 minutes or so. And then I came back out, and I ended up going out the same way that where they were sitting. And I ended up seeing them there, but Brennan and Kurt had left already. So I was like, you know what? I'll say Jesus loves you or something. But then, like, for some reason, I was like, no, that's like faking it. Like, if I say it after I already saw someone else ministering to them, that's like the heart is wrong. And then that was just that's not the Lord at all if you hear something like that. Obedience. And he was like, literally, the Lord spoke to me in that moment as I was driving through the parking lot. He's like, it is never wrong to tell somebody that I love them. Like, that's never going to be, that's just not wrong at all, simply put. So I was like, all right, fine. So I rolled down the window, and I'm driving right by them. And then I was like, hey guys, I just wanted to let you know that Jesus loves you. And then there's one guy that's standing in the front, and he just kind of goes like, eh. And then I was like, no, man, he really does. And then he just kind of stared at me for a couple seconds, then he just fell over. And I was super confused because I was just in my car. And then there was a car behind me, and I looked, and I was like, I don't know. I think he just got slain in the spirit or something. But I was like, I don't know what happened. And then the car behind me was like waiting. And I was like, all right, well, I got to go. I'll see you guys. And then I just drove away. And then I called Brennan. I was like, hey, I saw you guys ministering to some people on the side of the road. One of them fell over when I told him Jesus loved him. So you have fun with that. And then they went back. So
Yeah, so Zach had no idea that we were actually gonna go back. So that was really fun. So we could actually go back and like ask him about it. So we grabbed all of the blessing bags. We probably gave them like 25 blessing bags. Like they were just loaded on snacks. And so we gave him all these blessing bags. And then I asked him, his name was Tyler, the guy that fell over. And I asked him, I'm like, okay, so there's this guy that like drove by, and he said that Jesus loves you. And then apparently you like just like flopped on the ground. And he's like, oh my goodness. He's like, this place is crazy. Like, what is going on in Castle Rock? He was saying, like, I travel literally all over the United States. And he's like, nowhere actually do people just stop and like treat us like human beings. Like, people usually just act like we're just some homeless people, and they don't like actually care for us or love us. And so he's like, this is just crazy. And when Zach kind of pulled over and said, Jesus loves you, he's like, yeah, I was just overwhelmed by how much God actually loves me, that I just like couldn't do anything else but flop on the ground. So he just like flops on the ground just because he's so overwhelmed. So it was just super encouraging that, I mean, we were able to pray with them. And but I think the most important part, and they kept saying it over and over and over, is they just kept saying, thank you so much for just treating us like humans. Like, thank you for just wanting to hear our story, wanting to talk to us. And yeah,